Alrighty, third time's the charm. I've recorded this twice and my audio's messed up both times. We love first video back. What is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, bringing you all Little Cup Wi-Fi draft analysis. This is more informal. I was not prepared to really give a draft analysis, but I wanted to, so we're back. We're giving a draft analysis. And you will see we've got some Pokemon here. We've got a nice set of Pokemon here. We have, this is Little Cup Wi-Fi. I don't know what season. We were 9th pick out of 12, and we allowed Brokens. Not like Brokens like Scyther, Sneasel, Tangela Brokens, but like Mienfoo, Vullaby, Ghastly, Porygon Brokens. And I got 9th pick, so I was able to get Rufflet, and then three people picked again as their 2 picks, and nobody took Ponyta, so I got Ponyta as well. Rufflet, Ponyta, the normally 2 best Pokemon allowed in Little Cup. There's often a debate for which one individually is better, but generally Ponyta more fair, more consistent, Rufflet stronger, can be better, higher ceiling, is how I see it. But Rufflet very, very strong with the hustle ability, and flying is one of the best types, and then fighting to supplement that, and U-turn for random things like Sturdy Juice Pokemon that you don't really want to deal with is typically very, very fantastic. Solid Scarfer, very good bulky, can run setup like bulk up agility, and is a fantastic bulky Pokemon, as well as just offensive. It hits really hard for what it is. Ponyta, very, very nice. Once again, very offensive, but also can be bulky with like Will-O-Wisp and Eviolite and Morning Sun, can sustain and outlast things and really hurt physical attackers with things like Flame Body, and it'll chew a hit. It'll live almost any one hit and bury juice back to full very, very beautifully, and can just sort of do whatever you need it to. Very strong offensive physical Pokemon, can also be special in select matchups, but it has real physical coverage, so it'll typically use its higher attack stat and its better coverage, and it'll go physical. Stunky was my next pick. I thought it was very solid as just like kind of what it fills for my team, being check to very specific Pokemon like Aber and Ghastly, but also Defog plus speed plus kind of general good utility, good offensive typing as well. Not a lot typically likes dealing with it. It doesn't have physical poison stab as one of the main things holding it back, and it doesn't have knockoff. So it's like if it had those things, easy tier 1 Pokemon, but it doesn't. But you have things to make it work like Thief and Corrosive Gas for item disruption. You have things like Sludge Bomb and just running special for if you need the poison move. You have things like Sucker Punch is very valuable as priority. You have things like Defog to remove hazard. You have Explosion to do a lot of damage, and Go Boom too. Little Cup is often about like making sure that you're not out of position, and Explosion is often very helpful to like potentially reset positioning if you need. Then there is Squirtle. Squirtle typically people have very mixed opinions on. I'm of the belief that Squirtle probably isn't the best Pokemon, but for tier 2 I figured it was a good time to try Squirtle. Very good Rapid Spin for my team, but also Shell Smash, and it kind of just fills a lot of roles. It doesn't do any of them better, like it's not the best at doing any one thing, but it does a lot of things well enough, and that's kind of why I picked it between Shell Smash and Rapid Spin. Helioptile was mainly a Scald Switch-in, good offensive Pokemon. Electric type was kind of nice for what I was like going for, in that it'll help beat down bulky waters for Squirtle and Ponyta, and just kind of switch into Scalds for Rufflet and Ponyta, and even Stunky sometimes, and just kind of go from there. Surf is very good for it because ground types can't deal with it. U-turn for momentum, so that grass types even don't really want to come in on it, now that there's a lot of good grasses, but the good ones don't really want to deal with Helioptile, and it has like some other random coverage moves, and it has agility to boost its speed. It has Parabolic Charge to stay relatively healthy, and it's a very interesting Pokemon overall. Up next, I believe I picked Togepi. I wanted it to be it's a reliable check. It's like a one-time stopgap Pokemon, and nail a Thunder Wave and be fine enough for the rest of the game type thing. It has recovery and soft boiled. Gleam plus Flamethrower is usually pretty good for hitting most Pokemon. And yeah, overall, just decent fairy type. I feel like a fairy or a steel is generally pretty helpful. You don't need both in Little Cup, and so I feel like having a Togepi like that would be good for me. Up next, I took Esper. Esper, solid offensive psychic type, and does a surprising amount of like damage for what it is. Its stats are not that bad for a tier 4 Pokemon, especially. And it hits 17 speed and has good offensive moves, walled by Darks and Steels, but it's a cheap psychic. That's kind of expected of it. Up next is Sandygast. Sandygast I took because I liked what it did to help my fighting type matchup. Obviously, a lot of them can carry knockoff, but no item knockoff actually doesn't do too much to Sandygast, and Colbur Berry Sandygast isn't like out of the picture either. And then bulky enough and can hit surprisingly hard. It has a decent special attack stat. Not very fast, not fast at all, but can rock polish past certain matchups. If you run like a little bit of speed, suddenly you're outspeeding their unboosted team at +2, because it can still get pretty quick. Not that I need it to. Aerocuda I picked. It's a bit redundant with Squirtle, but I wanted Gossifleur. Gossifleur was, like, I figured a serviceable Pokemon for cheap Rapid Spin plus Ground Resist, because I am ground weak. But it was serviceable, but it's not there. It got sniped on the way back, so I figured Aerocuda was just the best Pokemon in the tier. I wasn't like going down to like Bounce Suite levels unviable for Grass type Rapid Spin. I figured just taking a bringable Pokemon that forces prep is a lot better than taking a bad Pokemon that doesn't force prep, because it theoretically fills a role. So we've got Aerocuda, and then last but not least, I took Dwebble. Dwebble, I thought after round 5 I was planning on taking. No other team could really afford it, so I took Dwebble. Fantastic Shell Smash user. It alongside Squirtle will force a lot of prep for Shell Smash, and generally Shell Smashers oftentimes is like a one-time stop, and if you have to one-time stop Shell Smash twice, suddenly you're in a bad spot. And Dwebble can also get up hazards reliably early game with like Stealth Rocks and Spikes and Knockoff, and typically that's more of a ladder set, but I've seen it work very well in Draft League as well, or even just like early game, just like get rocks up as you're a Sturdy Berry juice Pokemon. You get rocks up, you force a knockoff on 1, maybe even 2 Pokemon, maybe even force a kill early on from Dwebble, because you do like 4 specific switch-ins, because they don't want to lose to a Shell Smashing Dwebble as you get rocks up and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my Little Cup team. Hopefully you guys stick around with me for the season. It would be much appreciated if you did. This might be our last Gen 8 Wi-Fi season. I might upload some Showdown. We'll have to see. But hopefully you guys enjoy this season of Draft League. And yeah, until next time, Jesse504 out. Peace.